I won't say he's non-verbal. He, like Mr. Tu said, he has words, but he's not really using them. But it was really impactful. I actually remember being jealous of him because my mother loves to cook and my brother loves rice. So whenever she's always like, "Oh, Toby, I'm going to make rice for you. I'm going to make some." I'm like, "Okay, what about your other children? Don't we like rice?" But I mean, it was very impactful. I mean, then it was very difficult, but now I've learned to understand Toby, and then I don't know if anybody like he's my best friend.
That was sweet to hear. I like the fact that you started from, okay, um, you were a bit jealous, but now you understood that, okay, your brother has a special need, and that is what warrants some form of special treatment. Okay, so to Toby, yeah, I would like to ask that what are some of the challenges you faced, having a sibling with special needs, and what helped you, to understand that particular situation, and how were you able to, move from challenges to solution?
All right. My name is Oluwatobi, and my story is kind of different because I have an 8-year-old sibling. Don't do the maths. I understand what you're. And so she's pretty much my daughter, right? So when she was growing up, 2 years old, 3 years old, I mean, everything seemed fine. But when it was time to communicate, that was where we noticed there was a problem, right? And there was conversation with my dad and my mom as regards to trying to understand why she is like that, right? So a lot of research, spoke to doctor, and so I remember the first day my mom told me, "Oh, she's on the spectrum." I said, "Which spectrum? Let's talk to another doctor. What does that mean? Like, come on." And it was hard for me to accept because even existing as a fully functional, and I use that word loosely, human being is navigating life alone is really difficult because it's a prey-predator ecosystem that we exist in, right? And having a sister, a female first, a girl child that is on the spectrum, it just makes life relatively difficult. And I can remember an event that triggered me, and I did a few things. Yes, I'll give a school. She complained, when my mother was bathing her, that of pains in our private part, right? And because she couldn't talk, and so she went to the school to complain, and the teachers were saying, "Oh, there's nothing there." And then she told me. And because first I'm a lawyer and an investment banker, so I went there, went to the school, and the first question I told them is, I know this is rather absurd. I told them, "Look, is it that you find a solution, or I'm going to ensure that this school is closed down." So when I came with that threat, they took it seriously. But my experience from that is, or what I got from that is, we are going to have to do a lot to protect her, and it worries me. I think that's the only thing that bothers me about it. And to answer your question as to when when it moved from challenges to solution, to be honest, and I'm not going to lie, I don't think we have actually moved from challenge to solution. It's just more of equipping myself and obviously my parents emotionally, psychologically to be able to understand their needs and cater to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So my next question will be to Oganero. So looking at, I know that different individuals with their stories, but would you like to share with us how your relationship with your special needs sibling has evolved, right? From childhood and to present day. How will you
All right,
give a
so
scenario?
my brother's name is Tejiri. A lot of people know him as Tejiri. Tejiri is 22 years. Tejiri is like my best friend. No, he is my best friend. He's my PA. He's the one that wakes up in the morning to say, what are we doing today now? What is the plan for today? Are we going here? Are we doing this? Growing up, he was talking before. He was having conversations. Then he just stopped. And my parents, we stayed in Benin, grew up in Benin. So my mom and dad would leave Benin by 5, 8 a.m. in the morning to to make sure they can get to Lagos before 8 o'clock. So they can meet the doctor by 8 o'clock and come back to Benin that same day. So I give my mom and my dad a lot of regard, I beg, because they did a lot. My mom came to Lagos every September to learn how to take care of Tejiri. And so growing up, at some other points, I didn't understand. I was always jealous, like, because he was getting the attention. And I'm an attention-driven child, so I did not understand why he was getting the attention. And I mean, I'm the one to figure out myself because I was the first child. So in their mind, you handle your own shit together now. This is the boy that everybody need to put eye on. So from there, I came to Lagos. I finished university. I went to University of Benin, graduated. Then I plan to come to Lagos to hustle. That's the dream. Come and make it in Lagos. So I came to Lagos 2021, and I just knew that nobody could handle him like I did. You understand? Because I've been babysitting Tejiri from 0 to 22. So I'm one babysitting him. I know his best food. I know what he likes. I know his mood swing. I know when somebody has insulted him and he's feeling down. I know his best part. I know him so well that it got to a point where people want to talk to him. He doesn't care. It's like, where's my brother? Because people will not understand. You will not get me. So when I came to Lagos, my mom came to Lagos. I just felt that there's nobody who can handle him than me. So I told him that I would be able to take care of him. So he has been living with me since 2021 to now. Now, as I said again, he's my PA because before I wake up, he's awake. And as you said before, autistic children are people that are very intelligent. They are geniuses. They have their basic talents. My brother is, so we have one thing in common. We have a lot of things in common. But one of them is that we don't like book. So I don't like book. So they force me to go to school. So he has that tendency. So when I'm at home, I'll say, this is your character. With me and you, they share. So you go learn book. Because I learn book by force and fire. So you must learn this book. But I got to understand that he's more driven to food. He likes to eat. So he's a chef. So from the beginning of the year to now, he's the one that cooks. He's the one that slices the onions, slices the pepper. It's a good and a bad thing for me because now he's the one that handles the kitchen. So the key of the kitchen is left to him. So I can say, Tejiri, like yesterday we made salad. He saw salad online and he liked it. I said, okay, so you will make it for me now. So I went to the market. He went to the market with the nanny, came back, finished making the food. I said, yeah, dish now. He dished 3 pieces of meat. I said, no, so they rule Nigeria. So, and also, I try to encourage siblings that they need to spend time with their autistic or special needs child. My mom forced me to take care of my brother at first. It was intentional. My friend said, look, let's go out. I said, okay, mommy, I want to go out. Go out where? Stay with Tejiri. Yeah. Don't want to go and play ball. Play the ball with Tejiri. Video game with Tejiri. So automatically, when his birthday came, I wrote, happy birthday sidekick, because he has always been my sidekick. Anywhere we are going to, because I'm a business owner, and also an entertainer, so I always will come back late at night. He's the one that waits till I'm back. And for him, seeing me as the person, like sometimes they call me his father. I'm not his father, I'm his brother. But he understands already, for him, he knows that the love I have for me is genuine. Because here, a lot of people fake love autistic children. Fake love. I'm talking about Benin. Let's go back to Benin 2005. No goggle, nothing, no exposure. Begin now, wish now. True of us. The devil. You know? And you have to be able, and that already brings shame to siblings. You feel a type of way, my brother. I remember when I took my brother for a holiday, so we're in Sheraton. So I gave him the TV, gave him plantain chips, gave him Zobo. I said, oh boy, everything they here for you. I won't go and enjoy myself. Chi. He said, okay. Later on, I came down, I saw him, he had come down from his hotel room. There was a senator beside us. He had followed the senator to go and be eating buffet. Because he looks like a rich man's child. He get body, Americana. So he was just jumping. And I said, oh boy. He just shocked. He just used his own hand, dropped the spoon, left the table, and he also came to the room. So I told him that you cannot be doing this. Oh. You can't be misbehaving how you want and everything. So what I told him, I said, for today, you will not eat plantain chips for 2 days. And he first was like, nah, brother is kidding. No, it cannot be serious. Then I brought plantain and I put inside dustbin. Throughout that night, he was emotional. He was sober. He knew that, I have made a mistake. And I tell people that you need to also pay attention to your siblings because a lot of things are going wrong that you don't know. Trust me. They are doing a lot. We that are human beings. People, they do a shaggy. Talking of autistic children. Imagine my point. And for him, a lot of people, and my mom also, say, I'm being autistic. You don't know what is the solution. Everybody is looking for solution. People think that there's one button you press like this, and my child will back to normal. And my mom knew that early that there's no juju, there's no jazz. This is life, this is reality. You have to face it. And I tell siblings too that you are the guardian of that child. Some people look at me and tell me that I'm too young. I'm 25. So they say I'm too young. How am I handling my brother and doing my business? I tell them if I don't do it now, I will do it in 20 years.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Ogenero, absolutely. If you don't do it now, you will definitely do it in the future. Thank you so much for that. Ifoma, just want to confirm you are online with us.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. So this question is for you. Can you discuss with us some of the adjustments or strategies that you have implemented with your siblings with special needs that has proved to be very, very effective?
First of all, I just want to say kudos to all the siblings on the panel. I was really looking forward to seeing everyone. So, to answer your question, ma'am, this is my everyday life, pretty much, is the adjustment for my siblings. Just to give you a quick summary, I'm a lawyer. I run a special needs siblings of SEND, so siblings of persons with special needs and other neurodiverse disabilities. Now, for me, what the last person ever was even talking about with treasury, and he's already doing it without even knowing he's doing it. I'm actually a legal guardian to my sibling. My sibling is 28, and I became her legal guardian officially when she was 19. And so legally, I'm actually her mom. All the things he's saying, he's actually doing it. He hasn't put it on paper yet. But so for me, that adjustment to want to have it on paper as a lawyer as well is because I wanted my family, while they were living, to have that predisposition to see how it would work in reality if they weren't, especially for the parents. I tell people that I'm a walking pivotal example for parents that have fear of what their children are going to be in the future, who's going to take care of them. So for me, I wanted my parents to see a working reality of what it would mean if they were not going to be here anymore. So I legally took the reins as a lawyer, knowing what to do, and I became my sibling, my younger sister, Onibuchi Sandra, became her legal guardian when she turned 19. I was 24 at the time, and she started living with me from then on. In and out, we did some kind of, you might call it an adjustment phase between my parents would share. I was living in Abuja at the time, and my parents were living in Delta State. And we would share our living space within months. And gradually, we got to, it was a hard task for them to agree, first of all. Having to take on a sibling with special needs and then legally becoming their legal guardian means that you actually are taking on that parental role, not just in the sake of, oh, you're talking, I'm their parents. You're actually their parent. The law recognizes you as their parent now. And that is what we actually did. And this is 9 years. So she's not just my sister, she's actually my daughter. She's my first baby. And I would say the adjustment has changed over years because now I'm actually a mom now. I'm married, I recently had my own baby, and it's somewhat of more of a wholesome feeling having to sort of put that into consideration now with where she's at how she has also been able to grow with having not just her parents, but also having her siblings, and then having a sibling that is a legal guardian that is performing the motherly role, the parental role for those situations that her parents might not be around. So the adjustment phase it's been challenging. I would not lie, it's been challenging, but it has given me the option of having the work that I do, because this is actually, fortunately, is the my life is the work that I do. So having to counsel parents, counsel siblings, running a sibling leadership program, it's easier for me because people's lives are pretty much in that same place with mine, where I don't even need to counsel you much. When you come in and you're seeing my life, and you're seeing the working challenges, and you're seeing the working angles, you can tell whether or not you want to mirror the kind of, the process that we have gone through with living that reality. My sister, she's going to be 28 this year, and pretty much that's the life I've led. So I've had to live with this for the past 28 years, but ideally, consciously, I've always been there. But the adjustments have had to be worked in at different phases. The younger, the younger phase of having to the younger phase of having to understand what was going on, the pivotal phase of wanting to be involved, now the phase of actually being the one in the reins. So the adjustments have been continuous, they're still there, but they're working as much as I can tell. And for me, it makes it a wholesome experience, because now we're first-hand experiences for families to understand that this thing can work. If you have a sibling, you pretty much have the best resources that would be that future person, that caregiver, that aging person that could take care of your sibling.
Thank you so much for that, Ifoma. That was very good to hear. And so now I see that I have two lawyers on this panel. And my next question is to Toyin, right? So having a sibling with special needs, how has this had an impact on your personal growth and development, and also how has this shaped your value, your beliefs, and even your priorities as some of the things that you do?
Okay, so everybody here knows that you have to parent, or you have to like teach a child with special needs. You need to have patience because they will test you. And Toby loves to test me. So my dad spoke yesterday about him having his meltdown. So sometimes Toby picks the wrongest times to have meltdowns. He just wants to show himself like, okay, please just know that I'm around. So I think it was 2020 while we were locked down. For the lockdown, every night was a routine. Once, because it's early in my house, once it's 9 o'clock, everybody's going to bed. So once it's 9, he will go to the downstairs toilet to start slamming the door. Okay, I'm around, everybody should know that. So he will do that every day. So most of the time I'll get upset, and then I just realized that, just have patience. This boy, just have patience. One of the things, patience, and then also understanding people. And I see that people don't communicate the way that we do. So sometimes, now that Toby doesn't communicate with words, like, okay, maybe gestures, like, come, do this, do that. So now I've just learned that, okay, communicate with people, learn to understand them properly, and then just flow with them. What's the question now?
For your personal development and growth, and how has this shaped your priorities?
Okay, for priorities, I think family time, because like Tejiri said, you have to take your sibling out. A bad experience happened, I think, in 2022. So we went out to the mall. That was the day I said, okay, let me just take you out to the mall to get something. Toby started a tantrum there, and then he wanted to get gala. I'm like, this thing is not good for you. Hold on. And then he started there, and then some of my secondary school juniors were there, and it was very embarrassing. And I told my mom, I'm not going to take this boy out again. I'm tired. What is it? And second experience, other experiences, I took him out, and I just understood, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going out. You can pick anything you want. So just understanding that, okay, he also wants to spend time with you. And I just learned that, okay, I'll spend time with you, but just, calm down. And another thing, I think with relationships, So with Toby, with the way Toby is, I understand that I have to, the people that are in my life, I need to understand that I need to really, really pick the right people in my life. Because I don't want a situation that I bring you to my home and then you start looking at my brother anyhow. I won't take that. So I have very, very amazing friends that come over, they understand Toby, and then it's just really great. Understand that, okay, I have to pick really good friends. And also relationships also. Now, as I'm a woman, of course, I have to bring husband to the home. I understand I have to get, because I know that he can live his own life, can be independent. But at the same time, I don't, I know that it can happen. I don't really see it right now, but I know it can happen. So if I get married, the person I have to marry has to understand that, okay, this boy is like my best friend. So you have to accommodate him. It will be very difficult because some people will not stay. Some people like, of course, me that I'm living with my brother is very difficult. But just me to understand that I need to be really careful with the kind of people I bring into my life. I'm really grateful for that.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. So Toby, my next question is for you. I know you shared about how your sister had an issue with the school, and then you went back there to have a discussion with them. And so this question is for you. So in a moment whereby your special need sibling face a kind of discrimination or exclusion from maybe activities, it could be in the school, it could be at home or anywhere. How did you support and advocate for them? And what did you learn in this period?
So, like the experience I mentioned, and this was a conversation I was having with my partner, like at the breakout session. I've realized, and from my experience, from what happened to my younger sister, is they're not necessarily laws that protect, special needs. For example, and this was a conversation we had, when a special need child is alleged of a crime, right, and they're not able to defend themselves, there are no regulations or law to kind of protect. Let me give you an example. So for contractors, what we call illiterate jurat. So if you're signing a contract and you're an illiterate, right, they'll have someone read the terms to you so that you can understand in words that you understand and a pen. With laws and crimes, we don't have things like that, right? And it kind of informed me that, and I have to say, I don't necessarily practice law again. I'm an investment banker. And because of that, or because of the loophole I found, I realized I need to kind of reconnect with my legal background and advocate for that, And because, no disrespect to the lawyers here, we're sometimes just stuck in the old ways. We're not ready to evolve. So understanding that there's a loophole because of my personal experience has kind of spurred my drive to, advocate for those kind of regulations in our laws.
Thank you so much for that. And I think this is also a moment to also look into our system in Nigeria where we can have laws that actually spells out what happens in this type of situation. And then we can probably sue schools, religious organizations, and what have you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So my next question is for Ogeneru. So what role do you believe as siblings that you're advocating for your brother, how do you think you can bridge the gap between families and especially in the society? Now you are just one person, right, advocating for your brother, but then how do you think you can now move this role? Because I also want to believe that you will not be with your brothers forever, right? So how then do you get it into more families and then more into the society where people now begin to see themselves as advocates for people with self?
I think is first of all in Nigeria we have what they call the shame issue, right? So people have autistic children and they are not proud to say it. So we cannot deal with an issue when there's no actual acceptance. We need to accept in Nigeria that autistic children are human beings first. That's the problem. We are not accepting it now. I say it every time because my mother was a proud mother. My mother, Tejiri went to a normal school for a long time, even if it was abandoned, though, even if they just left him to be doing his thing and collecting school fees. But every inter-house sport, my mom was there. My mom never missed it. So when I go for PTA meetings and people are like, I'm like, I don't. The bar is so high. You understand? So first of all, we all need to. Everybody in Nigeria has somebody that has special needs. First of all, that's the first thing. Everybody, that your friend's friend, your uncle's auntie's son's child, your cousin's, somebody you know. So the first thing is to accept. Then also try to allow every family to accept. That's why I said it's a shame issue, because it's, first of all, we need to find education, know what autism is all about. As I said before, 2005, 2006 in Benin, autism was witchcraft. Not jazz. Not like, you are waiting your, now your repayments for what you do for life. There were a lot of, my mom went to crusades, night, I'm waiting to not go for, just to find an answer for that question. What is this? Because nobody knows what that is, you know. So first of all, we all need to accept that autism and autistic children are human beings first. Because once you are able to allow that, they can't treat them anyhow. For example, before, if you're not proud to have your child that's autistic, if you go outside, it will show. Once the child starts to display, there's a way you react, it will show. People will know that you dey shame. And it's in your head. So I, first of all, as a brother, my first role was that my brother should be in the society. That was my first job. That if I can be in the society, Tejiri is in the society. And if I can stand my ground, Tejiri will stand his ground. So first of all, I started myself. Everybody that came around me knew that I had a brother that was autistic. When I was working, I worked for 2 years as an admin officer at an architectural firm. Anytime that they called me in school for a meeting, I would drop the work. I don't know, maybe it's because I had mind, but I would tell them I'm coming. 1 hour, I will be back in an hour. My brother needs me. So, first of all, it's an individual work. I said it's tiny drops that make an ocean. Everybody needs to play their part. And also, if you are privileged, for me, we are only 2, so I'm the one with surgery. If you guys are 4 or 5, try and have an understanding. Cooperation is key. You need to come together to make this work. I give a shout out to mothers, because mothers are the ones that are carrying this journey. Fathers that do it, bliss, because there's a man here right now that I'm always happy to see him, because when you see fathers that come through for their children, is a lot. But mothers, you also need to tell your children how to handle their sibling. Some of them not they see an autistic sibling until once a year. 2 of us, I'm not calling anybody else. But some of them not they see our siblings. Or not they call them. You don't talk to the child. My brother made me understand that I was an emotional person. Made me understand that. And I tell to everybody, if you have an autistic child, brother, there's a level of intimacy, there's a level of calmness you have to be. There's a level of emotional intelligence you have to be. There was a time I was very busy. Money now, the cocoa now. So now money I did chase. But Tejiri doesn't understand that. The only thing he saw was that I come back from work, I close door. The next morning, I don't come out. Waiting they happen now. So on Saturday morning, he locked my door, took my key. Locked me inside though. So I said, oh yeah, open the door. Open the door. Let's go and make food. So he opened the door and I apologized. Because he's a human being. He's like you. He's like me. I told my mother one thing. When we went to America, my mom said, don't shout for him, Obodo Ibo, you know, they're not shout for Obodo. I said, this boy has heard you. He will misbehave in Obodo Ibo. He says, a lie. Okay, now. We got to Houston. Teju started to do his normal Nigerian way. From airport to shopping mall. He just the show saying he be Nigerian. Yeah. So, and I said, okay, let's go and use ourselves. So he went to the bathroom and I closed the door. I said, if you try me, don't try it at all. I said, if you try me, if they don't deport me and you today, come and say I'm not your senior brother. So he looked at me. I said, I'm not joking. So as I opened the door, I saw one Chinese man looking at me. The man said, huh? You take concern you, now your business. So, I'm sure. Now you get what I do for Africa. Come on for here, Joe. So parents, and that gives the child confidence. Because autistic children know that they have an issue. They know that they have a problem. So it affects their confidence. I'll give another example. My brother wanted to talk one day. So he came to the room and he was doing, like, he wanted to agitate. And everybody was like, stop. I said, no, 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 let the boy show himself. So I got to show that he was trying to talk here, but he didn't know what to say. So immediately he now did his face like this. I said, no, 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 not small fights now. No more talking now. You will learn it. So you have to let the child understand that it's not a disability. It's an ability that other people don't have. Because people, we make them look less of themselves once they leave the house. So we have to try our best to, first of all, educate ourselves. Because if you don't teach each of us, our neighbors, our pastors, our cousins, they will maltreat them outside. And they will come out to you. I'll give you an example. There was someone that was maltreating Teji for long. We did not understand. When the man comes, Teji will just go to the room. Teji, come and greet this guy now. So the day that he did something, and I caught him. So I kept quiet. Then my mom came. Hey! No, the joyful, pretense, everything. And I had to call my mom. Because mothers, this is emotionally attached to them. They will not see it as sibling. They see him. My mom, if we left my mom, Teju will be a spoiled brat. It will just be food, water. But due to the fact that I'm there, there's a level of, you cannot be doing all this crazy in my front now. If you don't you have leg, won't you walk? Can't you do your things? I made Teju understand. I told him last week, I said, he said you want to go out. I said, okay. I looked at my account balance. I said, we go wait till Saturday. Oh. I said, wait till you not feel work money, safe. Then he looked at me and smiled. So people should try their best to educate people around them for the betterment of them too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Ogene. And I like the fact that you are treating your brother like every other person, not focusing on the special needs about him. Toby needs to run, but I'll quickly like to ask you one more question before you leave, and then we'll continue from there. Do you want to share any heartwarming moment or memorable experience that you've had with? I know that the age bracket is a lot, right? Do you want to share with us some of these experiences that that has also increased the bond that both of you share?
Okay, I can remember in 2016, I was really sick, really sick. It was really bad. And I remember every morning, right? So I had to move to my mom's because it was really bad. Every morning, she'll come to my bed, sleep on it. And waking up to, that kind of love. It's, I don't know how to, I'm not the most emotional person, but there's some comfort I used to get from it. So we used to, sing nursery rhymes to the best of our ability, dance. She loves to dance. I love opera music. So anytime in the morning I play opera music, she listens, she knows the tunes and, the symphonies. Beautiful. And there was another experience. I was ill again, and but this time I wasn't with her, so she asked my mom to give her the phone, that she wanted to pray for me. And she's not very verbal, but the love was immense. You could sense it. You could sense it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I had to leave. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining, Toby. Ifoma, are you still with us online?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so if I'm sorry about that, The next question is for
Excellent.
you, and we have just 9 more minutes, so we want to make it quick.
Mhm.
So how do you navigate? This question is about, in the workplace, we talk about work-life balance, right? So this is about balance. How then do you navigate and ensure balance between being a caregiver? I heard that you just spoke about having like a full care of your siblings. So how do you navigate between taking care of your sister, I want to assume, and then also having time for your own personal development, career, and what have you?
Like I said earlier on, I run a foundation that caters to siblings of persons with disabilities. So for me, it's an everyday work play life. Most siblings, like myself, have the fortunate circumstances to work within those professions that help you balance. Other people do not. So for me, it kind of goes hand in hand because it's an everyday thing. So sometimes if she's within the time she's living with me, she comes to work with me, and it's pretty much work play life for us. But the times that she's not around, I'm also having to cater to other siblings, and their siblings with special needs as well. So for me, it's beyond just the professional life and the play life. It kind of intertwines regardless of what I'm doing, because what I'm encouraging people to do with the foundation is to be more vocal as a sibling of what the challenges that you have and how we can help you counsel both yourself, your parents, so like the whole family oneness to understand how best um, how best siblings can cope with what's with the situations that we're in. Unfortunately, just like what we're talking about earlier with Toji, most parents either force feed the siblings to be part of their siblings' life without actually navigating them in a way to show them what is best, how they could fit, how they could probably carry on. And then, unfortunately, when they're adults, most people do not want to be involved. But you have a higher chance if, say, from when all of you are peers and you're younger, to be able to navigate life together, for them to understand what the challenges are, how you're having to deal, and what could possibly help yourself when you become a sibling. Not everybody is going to be a sibling advocate. Not everybody is going to be a caregiver or end up being the legal guardian like myself, but it makes the chances higher as a family if you are navigating relationships in a way whereby you're learning as a sibling to understand the challenges and why you're having those challenges and how you can mitigate those challenges. That way, when you get to an adult stage, it's easy for you to now navigate life and also navigate having them with you at all times.
Thank you so much for that. So I have the last round of question for each one of you, and my question to you, Toyin, is what advice or what information or what kind of guidance would you like to provide for other people who have siblings with special needs also that could help them in their journey?
Okay, first of all, I would say love them unconditionally. It's going to take a lot. They will do a lot of annoying things, and of course, progress may be a bit slow, but please love them and also respect them. Despite even when my brother is younger, I try to like send him on some ridiculous errands, but I just have to understand that this boy is also human, and I have to respect him, and also to just keep on holding on. Things will happen, things at home will happen, things in your life will happen, but just continue to understand that okay, something good will happen on it, and then if possible, you can hear other people's stories. For example, hearing Tejui's brother's story is very, very impactful. Like how you go out to your brother, how you spend time with him. I'm still getting very used to spending time going out with my brother because I can't handle it. I'm a very soft person. So I'm not strict like my sister. My sister says, "Be sit down there." He will sit down. Me, I'm all like, "Don't be sit down." He'll still be using me to play. So I feel like it's just people's stories like this, and then also any please educate other people, your friends about it. That's why I started writing stories about it, and then everybody that comes to my house, I have to let you know that okay, this is autism, and also be open to learn more. You'll never stop learning. I just recently found out that the whole stuff about non-verbal autism, that they have words. Some people have words, but they don't use them. So just continue to learn and don't give up. Don't give up. And surround yourself with loved ones, people that will love and care for you, especially friends. I will mention friends that have been there for me. Sometimes I'll call my friends crying that this is too overwhelming. They'll say like, I need to take a break. Come out, let's go to the beach and everything. Have friends that will stay with you, that will pray with you. Just, yeah.
Thank you so much for that, Tony. And so my last question for you, Oganero, is this. I know that you spoke about how your brother has been living with you since 2015. So my question is this. How then do you navigate? I'm sure there will be days of emotional up and down, right? It's not going to be a smooth ride. So how are you able to navigate some of the challenges that might come? Days whereby you don't even feel like, talking and your brother needs your attention.
So the thing is that, like it or not, we are humans. There are times where I will break down. For my case, we're only two, so I don't have like an elder brother or a junior sister. So most times I have to sit down by myself. I was having a question with my parents, and I told them straight that I'm the one that spends time at night thinking of how this child will be better. You understand? And as I'm doing that, it gives me like an emotional pain. You get to see how vulnerable you can become. As I said before, for you handling autistic siblings, there's a level of vulnerability that will be available. Humans will take advantage of that. You understand? So the best thing I always do is I try to make sure that it's not a job. It's not a chore. Not be work. Wake up for 9 o'clock, they go and finish by 6. So it's a daily activity. So when I look at my friends, tell me, my brother went to America. Tell you just cook fried rice. That's how I do it. My brother is a MD in one company. My brother is a chef. He did big bread. He just made the one we ate this morning. So those things make me to feel good about him. Because the problem we have is that you are looking at it like a problem, affliction. God, when will this end? Oh, Father, this cannot be me. No, it's a regular child. You need to accept it that in our picking be that you born him. He will be a human being. He will be great. Because if you don't do that, you will always enter depression. Humans will, people that have normal children are depressed. You that have normal, so there's a level of normalcy. You have to accept that the child would grow at its particular pace. When I say to everybody, my rule in life is everybody has his own race. Some people's race is 2 minutes, and that's all. Some people is 14 years. So if you use the race of your first child to rate the autistic child, you will always vex. You will always be angry. You always want to enter depression. So what I do, I create a safe space for Seji whereby anytime he does something big, for me, he has entered university. So that's how the energy I give him. So when he started baking bread by himself, and he brought the bread home, it was like, my brother don't enter Harvard. So that's the energy you give, because that's the only thing you have. Human beings will disappoint you. As much as you have friends, which is very good, there are times it's only you in your room. There's some things your friends don't know how it pains you regardless. You understand? So you have to accept, that's the first thing I started with. You also have to make sure you know that it's not an affliction. It's not a disease. It's not a sickness. For years, my mother felt it was a disease. So she was finding the easiest way. What can we do? What should we do? Would it work like this? But until later, she understood that the child is his child. Every child is born unique. Every child is born great. And every autistic child is great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I think that will be the end of this panel section. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Okay, because of our time, can we take questions?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, my name is Aneta Kinshete, Dr. Aneta Kinshete. I spoke earlier. I just want to appreciate all of you. Thank you very, very much. And to say that your siblings are blessed to have you. That's one. Secondly, I want to ask also, was it deliberate or intentional that you were selected with younger siblings who have autism? Or because what's the dynamic with an older sibling who has autism?
He
Your,
has
your,
an
your,
older-
your brother is
older.
younger.
No, so mine is younger, but the thing is that I learned because I had someone that had an older sibling that had 5 years gap.
Okay, and he
So
was still
he wa-
looking after.
Yeah, so
that one.
his key is being firm.
Okay. Good. So it's the same thing. I just want
Yes.
to get. Then the other thing is this. In the sickle cell space, I've encountered very, very serious problems among siblings. Okay, so I hear all the very positive stories across the room, but I haven't heard the kind of stories I've heard in our room in counseling. That one particular family I have in mind now, the younger sister tried to stifle her sister who has sickle cell because she felt that her parents favored her sister with sickle cell over her. Why? Because the parents would say, you bath with cold water in the morning, but go and get hot water for your sister. Your sister will get serious pains and sickle cell crisis if she bathes with cold water. You know, so, but she tried to kill her sister. That's serious resentment. Very, very serious resentment. So I'm praying that kind of I know you haven't expressed that, but to what extent, you don't even have to answer, but to what extent does that kind of resentment get, you know, with children, with young siblings like you? It's a reality. In the end, we had to have resources. You have the resources that you need. Counselors, counseling, psychotherapy. Do you have that kind of support? Because I've said in my lecture that families have to be given that nurturing, have to be supported, placed on a pedestal, given rewards, given awards, all kinds of things to encourage them to do what they do best within the community.
So the first thing is
So that's
Okay.
those are just comments and questions.
So-
I think we will treat them more like comments than questions because Tony mentioned a point where she was jealous about.
Yeah,
her
I
sibling.
think it's just being understanding. My brother has special needs, kind of like needs the extra love and care. So I understand. That's just it. But from that point of view, I think that's just very, very, very deep. And we can't. In another way, it could be like as if she's feeling pity for the girl. So she's just like, you know what? Maybe the girl should just go and rest. So like go and rest with the Lord. Maybe she's just really sad that her sibling is going through this. Like, okay, why don't you just stop the suffering? That could be another point of view. But it all comes down to understanding and then, of course, love.
So I think that is parents, because you need to educate your children on the situation at hand. For me, I didn't get that early enough. I had a lot of resentment for Tejiri. Me and Tejiri were not really close before. I would leave him like, not be your man or pal love. Go and meet them now. What is my business? Me, I'm hustling my own soul by myself. They are focused on you. So do your thing. But as I said again, parents need to sit your child down. This is Ima. He's autistic. That means my attention will be divided. That means Ima will have more of things than you people. So parents, that is where the parents need to educate their children. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ifeoma, do you have any comment on that?
Yes, I just wanted to address that
Thank
quickly.
you.
And so pretty much, to the question, it's a very common situation for us when we do, I don't know if can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so it's a pretty common situation, especially for younger children that we experience when we deal with family counseling. The problem that we have basically is that there is basically almost no treatment guidelines for children who are struggling with having a sibling with SEND. So we don't even say special needs, we say SEND. So we wrap it up into special education needs and all kinds of disabilities. And sickle cell is one of them. We've had situations like what you just explained now. So you're having to deal with children that are within a home where they are literally being ostracized by another person's condition. And most of the time, yes, parents not necessarily are to blame, but because of how overwhelming situations can explode, most parents forget that the other siblings within the home, the neurotypical siblings within the home, or other children within the home who do not get the same conditions, are not being regulated in the way whereby they are being counseled within stages. Like I said earlier on, there are different phases. So at every appropriate stage, you have to keep counseling the child of what they can take in, what they can understand. If the child feels that the only way I can have a happy home is to sub my sister or smudgel her or kill her, which is playing with some of the things we've dealt with, so that that child goes and I have my mommy and my daddy back. The child's mind tells them that, yeah, this is the legit thing to go on. And if you don't deal with that thing, then you're having to keep a child that goes into an adult with that trauma, with that reality in their mind, with that state still wanting to do with people in the adult life, even with having exposure and information, but because you have placed the child in a way whereby they still carry that grief along, you are not having, they're not they're not coming out of that understanding to know, okay, my sibling might need X, Y, Z. That is one of the reasons why we started SOS, because we wanted siblings, we wanted families and siblings especially to get the counseling that they need to know how to navigate different times and different phases in their life. We have siblings, especially with sickle cell, where their sibling has died, and nobody within the home was able to tell the child why the sibling died. And the sibling grew up with fear of death without even knowing that, oh, this is a trade, this is this, and this is that. They might get the everyday knowledge from school, but they are not getting the knowledge from home, and they are not getting the counseling, the family counseling that can help that family reborn. So it's very important that at every given time, especially as a home, sign up for counseling sessions, sign up for sibling sessions, even adult siblings. If you've never done a leadership program, if you've never done an actual program that teaches you how to be a sibling, you should sign up for it.
Thank you so much for that, Ifoma. Thank you so much, Toyin. Thank you so much, Oganeri.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Omotoke and our crew. Our
Thank you very
siblings, we appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do.
All right, before we go to the last item on our agenda, just we have two winners who connected with Terap, and they have successfully won two prizes. The first person I'll be calling is Patricia Akonde. Please put your hands together as she comes forward for her gift. Patricia, I'm looking at you. Patricia Akonde, please come forward for Patience Akonde. Patience Akonde. Thank you very much. Let's call on the representative of the federal minister and also Terap. Please stand by you want to take pictures too? Okay. Please come forward to make the presentation to you. You want to take? Okay, she wants to take the pictures first, and then you stand by with them for the presentation. No, turn it the other way so we can see. Terap. Okay. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you very much. All right. The next person is Sunny Idayat Bosse. You have another gift from Terap. Are you still here, Sunny? Thank you. Let's put our hands together for Sunny. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're taking it on her behalf. Let's invite. Okay, I'm a gender-friendly person. So who am I calling? Who am I calling? Who am I calling? Who am I calling? I'm coming to you, Dr. Akishete. Never mind. Thank you, ma'am. Help us with the honor. Thank you for the gifts. For those, if you need more information about Therap, they are still at the exhibition stand. You can please go and meet Joanna and get connected with how you too can win a gift from Therap. Okay, Shade, over to you.
Okay.
I've had an amazing 2 days event. Mrs. Akonde is still raising some gifts. Let me walk up to her.
Okay.
Okay, we have books that have also been given to us by Evangelist Benjamin or Dagon. Did I get your surname right, or I should just stick with Evangelist Benjamin? So for those who have asked questions here, can you please be upstanding? You have a gift. You participated by asking a question. Let me see you in the room. Thank you. We have rewards for your participation. That is not to say that every other person didn't participate. Please come out. Thank you. Did you ask a question? Yesterday, yeah, everybody, it's a 2-day event. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please come. Keep hope alive. Mr. Charles, please come. Help us with the honor of making the presentation from Grooming Foundation, Grooming Center. The book is on keeping hope alive, and indeed, we need to keep hope alive for families so that we will not fall under depression in raising and nursing special needs in Nigeria. Congratulations, madam. Congratulations. Thank you very much, sir. Let's put our hands together for him. Who else am I going to call? Okay, 3. Just do the honor. Remaining 2 people. Shade, please come and do the presentation. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together. The next presentation is by TVOs. Yes, I can. Shade of LTV. Please, let Shade come. She's a moderator. She's also a presenter of Yes, I Can, supporting awareness creation on disability and what they can do. Keep your mic for the picture. Congratulations. Yes, one more. Congratulations. Thank you very much. And I have a final one to go. Shade, who are we giving this to? 2? It's just 1. You asked a question? Yesterday. If you did yesterday, please come, because breakout session, you asked a question. Thank you. So there's no partiality. Please put your hands together. You made it engaging, and we're grateful for your participation. Congratulations. Thank you very much. To Evangelist Benjamin for providing us with that. Let's celebrate him. Please raise your hand. Where are you, sir? Wow! All the people who got the Keep Hope Alive, please come outside and take pictures with him. I didn't even know it's you, and I called Shade. Thank you for keeping hope alive. All right, everyone, come outside and take pictures with him. Pick the book. Please come with the book. Why did you call it Keep Hope Alive? Just in 1 minute, give us your experience. Please come outside.
Well, I call it Keep Hope Alive because
Come this way.
my story inspired me to title it Keep Hope Alive.
Who is the last person? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, for the picture, let me take away this. I like to snap with celebrities. Let me snap with this. Thank you very much. You can have an handshake with him. I will. Let them have an handshake with you. Thank you very much for the honor. Thank you for the honor of the books. Thank you for the honor of the books. Those online, what you are saying is generosity. I also would like to have an handshake too. Thank you, sir. I want to be an author too. I'm still on the journey. Very soon I will. All right, give us your story in 1 minute.
The reason why I titled it Keep Hope Alive is that my story inspired me to say so. Over 2 decades, doctors told me that my days are few. And I am standing here. My life is a miracle. So that's why I wrote that book, Keep Hope Alive. And I want to encourage everyone in this hall that regardless of what you are going through, just keep hope alive. I want to say I'm inspired. I'm blessed to be here. I'm inspired. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. We are and we are rounding up today, and I don't feel like going home.
Wow, just before we want to go home, there are 2 most important items here on auction. The first one is the artwork by Anthony. Can we put it on display? This artwork is on auction. Please, if you are interested in supporting Anthony, this is empowerment. This is employment for him. It is self-reliance and creating jobs and helping him to remain motivated and keep doing this. Is on auction, and it will be taken to Art by Anthony. So please visit the exhibition stand, and if you don't book anything, I need one of us or most people to rush for this artwork and pick it. Is it on display? Those online, if you're also interested, the highest bidder will go home with this beautiful work of art by Anthony. It was started just shortly before we went on the first breakout session, and it has been completed by the close of this day's event. Let's celebrate him and put our hands together for him. Next item on auction is this beautiful dress. Please, can you, stand up. Can we see this beautiful dress? Raise
Wow.
it up. And let's see. Can we see now? Started this just when we were here. I hope we saw it when she was joining the pieces together. Lo and behold, the dress is ready for display. It will be at the exhibition stand. Please take a visit there. Those online, if you're also interested to support MM's vision to continue to do this, let us patronize her. The highest bidder goes home with this beautiful dress by MM. Let's celebrate MM as she takes her seat. It's been an interesting day. I've had
Very enlightening,
impactful
eye-opener,
session, 2 days.
impressive. Yes, 2-day session, and I am just looking forward to next year's conference again.
And to wrap it up for us is our one and only Dr. Dopsy. Put your hands together for her. Thank Thank you very much, Ma. I've enjoyed every bit of it. Over to you for the closing remarks.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to again just reel through our donors: the Mortala Mohammed Foundation, our gold donor; Lotus Bank, Echo Bank, GT Co, Aluko and Oyebode; Mr. and Mrs. Sani; Nathaniel Idowu Foundation; Ziba Foundation; Event Texture; Holman Consulting; Dr. Kimberly Schollard; HSF Wellness Center. I just want to say thank you. And those who have, our volunteers, you have been amazing. These young people, they have been working behind the scenes, social media. I mean, the kind of publicity that they gave to this conference is unbelievable. Thank you again, Rep from the Federal Ministry of Education. For you to sit here with us for 2 days, it's fantastic till the end. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Dr. Annette Akinshete, one of our keynote speakers. Thank you for ISAD, IB, CSS. Thank you for ASDAN. Thank you, everyone. You know, as a parent of a special needs child, it's not a walk in the park. And there's so many things that people will do to you, and you ask yourself, really, why am I here? Or what am I doing? Why? Because even as a parent, you're discriminated against. You know, there are times that when my son was much younger, even though he was on a buggy, he was in his buggy. He was about 15 months old at that time. And we were at the airport. We were going to the UK. So, I mean, for whatever reason, I was in the upper class lounge with him. And this young man was cuteness redefined. Very, lots of hair, very healthy, chubby, handsome man, young child. And everybody used to, you know, just love him. Oh, nice baby. You know, they will come and touch his cheeks. And this woman with her 2 or 3, I think she had 2 daughters and a son. She came into the hall, you know, and you know, children, they don't know anything. It's us, the parents, who teach them discrimination. And, you know, the little girl went, you know, just to touch. I said, don't touch him, leave him alone, don't touch him. You know, I sat down there calmly and I looked at her and I said to her, he doesn't bite. And the second thing I said to her, that what are you teaching your children? What are you teaching your children? So they should learn discrimination. I have too many stories to tell you about what we've gone through as a family. But I'm grateful for one thing. He can stand his own today. He can stand his own. He's a self-advocate. He does not take nonsense from anyone. And I thank God for his older brother. That's why this session was so important to me. You know, Dr. Akinshete knows the bond between them. And why that is so is because from day one, we made him realize that your brother is your brother. Your brother is special. Naturally, as a parent, you want to give a lot of attention to the child who has special needs. But we had to make a conscious effort to ensure that none of them was deficient in attention. And I always say this to people when I have the opportunity. You think we chose to be special needs parents? We didn't. We didn't. God chose us because we're special. Because he only gives special needs children to special parents. And I always say to people that you think it cannot happen to you? Think again. Some of us are becoming grandparents. You could have a grandchild with special needs. And I remember one day I went to FRSC to renew my driver's license. And I was angry because I said to the guy, why do you have to stress us? Why do we have to come and do data capture over and over again? And you know what he said to me? He said, Madam, today you are able. Tomorrow you may be disabled. And it hit me like a ton of bricks that is true. I could lose a limb. I could lose my eyes. I could do, anything could happen to me, which meant that I fall into that category. So sometimes what I'm saying in effect is never stop being a human being. Show compassion. Show love. Show empathy. I have seen where special needs children are given out as house helps. How can anybody do that as helps? And they are treated like dirt. A few years ago, Human Rights Watch came to Nigeria. When they sent the email that they were coming to do a study on shackling, I was like, what do you mean shackling? You know what shackling is? Some of us who are in rural areas will know. Because it is one witch somewhere, or the child himself or herself is a witch. So they tie that child like a goat, or like an animal. Even animals are better treated than those children. In places where even dogs cannot stay in. That is what shackling is. When they finished that, when I read that report, I was weeping. That in this country, things like these are happening, and it takes people from the US to come and tell us what is happening here in our own country. Guys, there is work to do. And like I said earlier, for as long as there is breath in me, this is the work I believe the Lord has laid in my hands to do. And giving me the enablement, I will continue to do it. So I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you for being part of this. Now, by the grace of God, we have decided that this is going to be a biannual or biennial or whatever you want to call it, biennial event. Because, and the truth is, we could do it annually, but it takes a lot of money. And all of the money I reeled out the sponsors. A lot of it we had to put boots to the ground to get money. It's amazing how much has gone into this. But God came through. In fact, a month ago, we're still thinking, are we going to go ahead with this or not? When last week a bag of rice was 80,000 naira. We're wondering, are we going to go ahead with this? But here we are. To the glory of God, 2 days, everybody's been fed, watered, and rested, I hope. So thank you again. And with this, I declare this conference closed. But you can still network, you can still, enjoy the environment. They won't drive us from here anyway. So thank you. God bless you abundantly. Thank you so much. And if I missed out mentioning anybody, forgive me. Sometimes I think me too, I have special needs. So thank you very much. God bless you all.